In this video, Elon Musk has penned an epic essay on humanity's abundant future, discussing in detail the huge transformation that will be led by Tesla's humanoid robot, incredible details about the future potential of Neuralink, and of course, becoming a multiplanetary species. For the Tesla stock investors in particular, this is an incredibly insightful essay with many enormous clues about the gigantic, and I mean gigantic, future possibilities for Tesla, the humanoid robot, and why I personally believe that well, Tesla may in fact single-handedly double, triple, quadruple, 10x or more the entire global economy. Really. I know I sound insane, just like Elon sounded insane and still sounds insane until he doesn't. So, let's get into it. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. This one managed to fly under the radar of most, but Elon Musk recently wrote an essay published in China discussing everything in the intro. We're going to read through the translation. Obviously, this won't be perfect, but we've got a great sense of where Elon Musk is coming from. And as I said, if you're a Tesla stock investor, pay very close attention. The implications are truly profound. What we're seeing here is a translated version of Elon Musk's essay in China Cyberspace, a monthly magazine run by the Cyberspace Administration of China. And before we get any further into this, ask yourself a question. Why is it that Elon Musk would be penning an essay in a Chinese publication? Of course, I already know the answer to that. Are you ready? Talent. China has a lot of incredibly talented, hardworking people. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. And obviously, Elon wants to hire most of them, hence telling everybody what Tesla, Neuralink, and SpaceX are up to. This is 420 IQ stuff once again. Just a few days ago, Elon Musk appeared on the Full Send podcast, reaching a brand new audience. I think the interview is now well past 6, maybe 7 million views. Many of the people who saw Elon Musk's interview on the Full Send podcast probably haven't actually ever seen a direct Elon interview in the past. Instead, they've just heard things second or third hand and or in the mainstream media. Many of the people who watched that podcast are likely in the future to either work for Elon and or become Tesla customers. Elon's media appearances are often a lot more strategic than you might imagine, as opposed to his tweets, which tend to be anything but. Anyway, just wanted to point that out because I think this will be lost on many people. Elon has limited time. He's very considered and measured with who he talks to. So, let's read the translation. Believing in technology for a better future. Thank you for the invitation from China Cyberspace magazine. I am pleased to share with my Chinese friends some of my thoughts on the vision of technology and humanity. As technology accelerates, it may one day surpass human understanding and control. I just want to correct this. It will, and this is not up for debate. Some are optimistic and some are pessimistic, but I believe that as long as we are not complacent and always maintain a sense of urgency, the future of humanity will be bright, driven by the power of technology. It is like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If humans want to make the future good, they should take action to make it good. I want to do everything we can to maximize the use of technology to help achieve a better future for humanity. To that end, any area that contributes to a sustainable future is worthy of our investment. Whether it's Tesla, Neuralink, or SpaceX, these companies were all founded with the goal of making Elon rich because billionaires are evil and they took it away from me. Fuck you, Elon Musk. I hate you. Also, I hate my life. Give me my money. Thank you. Bye. I don't know what happened there. I might have had a hallucination. Sorry, guys. These companies were all founded with the ultimate goal of enhancing the future of human life and creating as much practical value for the world as possible. Tesla to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, Neuralink for medical rehabilitation, SpaceX for making interstellar connections possible. Clean energy, the future of sustainability. The starting point for my thinking about clean energy is how to create and store energy sustainably and for the long term, and how to provide a constant source of power for the future of productive life. In my view, the future of sustainable energy involves 3 components. The generation of sustainable energy, shout out to solar. The sun is like a giant fusion generator from which mankind currently exploits a tiny amount of energy. In the long run, solar energy will become the main source of energy for human civilization. By the way, I mean technically, and we are getting technical here, it already is. For those who don't know, and I don't want to get too nerdy here, even petroleum, fossil fuels that we're extracting from the earth, they're made of dead shit that was solar powered or ate stuff that was solar powered. This is obviously indirect solar power, but literally everything on Earth at this point in time, don't be a Poindexter telling me about the geothermal vents at the bottom of the ocean floor. Generally speaking, all life on Earth, either indirectly or more likely directly, is solar powered. No sun, no life on Earth. Of course, wind, hydroelectric, geothermal, and nuclear power are also useful energy supplements. The storage of sustainable energy. Given the change of day and night and the change of weather, we need a lot of fixed battery banks to store solar and wind energy because the sun does not shine all the time and the wind does not blow all the time. Unlike your girlfriend, who told me not to say that out loud because it's a secret. Anyway, energy needs to be stored in a large number of fixed battery banks. Geez, if only Tesla was making batteries, they might have a very, very large opportunity. I mean, if they had solar and batteries, holy f***. Geez, talk about multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. And electrified transportation. Full electrification of transportation, including cars, planes, and ships. Once again, we're noticing Elon Musk continues to mention planes and ships. Not currently part of Tesla's roadmap, but something that does also need to transition to be fully electric. Something to ponder. Electric rockets may be more difficult, but we may be able to manufacture the propellant used in rockets from sustainable energy sources. Eventually, the world economy will be run entirely by sustainable energy sources. The world is on track for a sustainable energy transition, and humanity should continue to accelerate the process. The faster this transition is achieved, the less risk humanity poses to the environment and the more it will gain. When clean energy is available, carbon sequestration and desalination will be cheaper, climate change and water shortages will be solved, and when fossil fuels are out of the picture, the skies will be cleaner, the world will be quieter, the air will be fresher, and the future will be brighter. Solar power, battery packs, and electric vehicles paint a rosy picture. Man, I kind of feel like, it'd be a good idea to start a company that does solar, battery, and electric vehicles. I mean, you're talking like probably a $10+ trillion opportunity. Why hasn't anyone already thought of that? Next, we need to focus on the limiting factors. The electrification of cars has become a consensus among nations, but battery support on a terawatt-hour scale is needed to roll out pure electric vehicles around the globe. According to our estimates, the world needs about 300 terawatt-hours of battery storage to achieve a transition to sustainable energy. I know I'm repeating myself here, but guys, this opportunity is just gargantuan. The biggest difficulty in advancing sustainable energy lies in the large-scale production of lithium battery cells. Does anyone know any companies that are trying to resolve this bottleneck, developing their own cells and trying to ramp up production? Nah, neither do I. Such a shame. Specifically from the mining and element refining to battery cells coming off the production line and finally assembled into battery packs. This is a complex process that is restraining the rapid development of a sustainable energy economy. I just want to take a quick moment here for a little bit of Tesla-related context. We've heard repeatedly Tesla, Elon Musk, many of the executives within the company saying that whatever the bottlenecks are, they will solve them. They'll do whatever they need to do. And Elon has just explicitly pointed out the bottlenecks here. This includes mining. So if we think a little bit, and if mining's a bottleneck and Tesla's going to address the bottlenecks, you can put two and two together, right? Right. And he also pointed out refining, another bottleneck. Again, put two and two together. You can kind of hopefully figure out the implications. Then, of course, we have the production of the batteries themselves and assembly. We already know Tesla is currently assembling battery cells into packs and also producing their own battery cells. So the latter of these two things Tesla's already on top of. But the former, mining and refining, well, not yet. Something to consider. As a pioneer and innovator focusing on energy innovation technology, Tesla was founded to solve the problem of energy innovation. On the one hand, we create integrated sustainable energy products from the three segments of energy production, storage, and use. On the other hand, we are committed to redefining battery manufacturing by innovating and developing advanced battery technology to remove restrictions on battery capacity. And again, I just want to take a quick moment here. Words matter. These in particular. Tesla's attempt, their goal, is to remove restrictions on battery capacity. Translation: Tesla is hellbent on blowing open battery supply. In other words, Tesla's goal is to figure out how to produce a literal ton of batteries. I believe that the world will transition to a sustainable future through a combination of solar and wind energy plus battery storage and electric vehicles. I'm pleased to see more and more companies joining this field. Chinese companies will be a force to be reckoned with in the cause of energy innovation, and this is a really important point. Elon's right. Do not underestimate China. And if that wasn't juicy enough, we've just heard about probably a $10+ trillion opportunity Tesla's pursuing, maybe even more than that over the longer term. We're about to take things up a few orders of magnitude. Humanoid robots doing what humans do. Today's cars are increasingly like smart, web-connected robots on wheels. In fact, in addition to cars, humanoid robots are also becoming a reality, with Tesla launching a general-purpose humanoid robot Tesla Bot in 2021. I think something lost in translation. This was probably Tesla unveiling plans to produce rather than actually launching the humanoid robot. Clearly, it's after 2021 and the bot's not on the market yet. The Tesla Bot is close to the height and weight of an adult, can carry or pick up heavy objects, walk fast in small steps, and the screen on its face is an interactive interface for communication with people. You may wonder why we designed this robot with legs. Because human society is based on the interaction of a bipedal humanoid, that means 2 legs for those who don't know, with 2 arms and 10 fingers. So if we want a robot to adapt to its environment and be able to do what humans do, it has to be roughly the same size, shape, and capabilities as a human. A great parallel here would be the reason that Tesla is pursuing a vision and neural network based approach to solving autonomy, because humans drive vehicles with 2 cameras attached to a neural net. The entire road system is based on vision and cognition. So why reinvent the wheel? No pun intended here. The same is true of the humanoid robot. If you want these things to be able to do useful things, especially to replace human labor, having approximately the same form as a human makes intuitive sense. I can't wait for 10 years down the road when everyone else is trying to catch up to Tesla and copy them. The equivalent of LiDAR and pre-mapping in HD is probably going to be fucking robots with a wheel instead of legs and no arms, or 12 arms instead. Because obviously Tesla's approach is wrong. We don't have any examples of it working, so let's do something totally different because Tesla's wrong. Tesla bots are initially positioned to replace people in repetitive, boring, and dangerous tasks. But the vision is for them to serve millions of households. Now, this matters. Words matter. We're talking about millions, okay? Millions, one more time, millions of households. So probably not too much of a stretch to suggest that Tesla is likely to be aiming to produce millions of Tesla bots, such as cooking, mowing lawns, caring for the elderly, and helping out the Tesla Q virgins to finally get... wait, I think I misread that. Moving on. Achieving this goal requires that robots evolve to be smart enough and for us to have the ability to mass produce robots. Indeed. Quote, our, quote, 4-wheeled robots, cars, have changed the way people travel and even live. One day, when we solve the problem of self-driving cars, i.e. real-world artificial intelligence, again, words matter and people really aren't getting this. As I've said a million times, with FSD, Tesla has built the foundational building block for artificial general intelligence. You've got vision, perception, not just seeing, but understanding, planning, and action. This is intelligence. Sensing your environment, planning actions in said environment, and then taking those actions in said environment. This is the basic building block of AGI. I really don't think people are understanding this. This is the foundational seed of AGI. No one else has this. Tesla has an unassailable lead in literally developing artificial general intelligence. People just not getting it. I think in about 20 years' time, this will be evident, but at this point in time, there's very few people discussing this, apart from a few nerds on YouTube and Twitter. We will be able to extend artificial intelligence technology to humanoid robots. Notice how he says extend artificial intelligence technology. Literally, as I said, the foundation has been built with FSD. That is the foundation. They can now extend that to humanoid robots and, in the future, many other applications as well, which will have a much broader application than cars. We plan to launch the first prototype of a humanoid robot this year. Now, I hate to be that guy, but I am going to be that guy. I'll be stunned. It could happen, but I'll be so stunned, my brain is literally going to fucking explode. If Tesla literally has a prototype bot capable of bipedal motion and doing a few basic tasks, picking up moving objects and so on, and not looking like it's had 25 beers before doing so, I will be absolutely stunned. I'm personally thinking the Tesla bot is a multi-decade project going from completely fucking useless to somewhat helpful to really helpful to invaluable. We're probably looking a couple of decades, but I'd love to be wrong. Clearly, Tesla has some extremely aggressive and ambitious goals. I'm going to read that again one more time. We plan to launch the first prototype of a humanoid robot this year and focus on improving the intelligence of that robot and solving the problem of large-scale production. Again, FSD, the strategy here to improve the technology, get a huge fleet of vehicles out there collecting data. You have this self-iterative process, the feedback loop, the data flywheel. The exact same will be true of Tesla bots. Produce a large fleet, that fleet collects data, and that is used to improve the AGI. Obviously, we'll hear more about this in Tesla's Master Plan Part 3, but the other big piece of the puzzle, not just improving the AI, but actually scaling up production to obviously millions per year or more. Thereafter, humanoid robots' usefulness will increase yearly as production scales up and costs fall. In the future, a home robot may be cheaper than a car. Perhaps in less than a decade, People will be able to buy a robot for their parents as a birthday gift. Again, words matter. Think about this. We've just learned a compelling insight. Elon Musk has a brain. He also understands physics, and this is quite useful when thinking about the cost of future products. Let's think about the actual materials necessary. Economies of scale. How cheap could we make these things? Oh, okay, that's pretty cheap, yeah. Hence Elon's comment about people maybe in a decade or so being able to buy a robot for their parents as a birthday gift. Very clear indicator that in Elon's mind, he can see a path to get the cost of these things down dramatically. Let me know in the comments below, what's the most money you've ever spent on a birthday gift for your parents? Something to consider. It is foreseeable that with the power of robots, we will create an era of extreme abundance of goods and services where everyone can live a life of abundance. Perhaps the only scarcity that will exist in the future is for us to create ourselves as humans. And now onto Neuralink. Neuralink, empowering the disabled. Some of our Chinese friends may not be as familiar with Neuralink as with electric cars. These companies focus on developing computer-human brain fusion technologies, developing brain chips the size of coins, similar to wearable devices such as smartphones, except that they integrate more deeply with the user's body, recording and stimulating brain activity through implants in the cerebral cortex. So unfortunately, given the fact that a cerebral cortex is necessary for Neuralink to function, I'm not sure that Neuralink will ever be able to help Tesla Q. Shame. At this stage, the technology is helping injured people on an individual level. We have received many saddening letters. A 25-year-old young man was in the prime of his life when he had a motorcycle accident that left him unable to eat on his own, which is a great grief for the individual and the family. In light of this, brain-machine interface technology will be focused on curing or alleviating brain injuries and other related disorders in the years to come. For example, it could help restore sensory or motor function to limbs of those with spinal injuries and mental system disorders, or allow quadriplegics to use their brains to easily operate computers or cell phones. A little bit of additional context here. It is actually quite possible, feasible, in fact I think it's inevitable, that at some point in the future, quadriplegics with a Neuralink brain implant or similar will literally be able to type, text, etc. way faster than humans can with their own thumbs. Really. It won't happen tomorrow, but there's a very clear path to make this happen. It's pretty stunning. This technology can also improve a wider range of brain injury problems, whether these disorders are congenital or accidental, or caused by age and external stressors, including severe depression, morbid obesity, sleep problems, and underlying schizophrenia, all of which are expected to be alleviated by human-computer devices. With the development of brain-machine interface technology, in the long term, this connection is expected to expand the channels of communication between the outside world and the human brain, accessing more brain regions and new neural data. Again, I want to take a quick moment here. We're literally talking, and I mean literally talking, about expanding the scope and scale of human consciousness. This technology could allow humans to effectively integrate with artificial intelligence and ultimately expand new ways for humans to interact with the world, themselves, and others. Again, I want to take a moment here. It seems fairly likely to me there's two ways artificial superintelligence plays out. 1. Humans merge with it. 2. Humans become irrelevant. Stage 1 of Neuralink is to help people who are suffering through injuries, disability, and so on. Stage 2 is to allow humans to merge with artificial intelligence rather than to become other and separate, which, well, probably doesn't end super well for humans. Not to say that artificial intelligence, artificial superintelligence will necessarily be evil. However, just like literally zero people watching currently have any consideration whatsoever for whether or not some of the bacteria living in and on them survive or live, if from the perspective of artificial superintelligence, humans are no different to bacteria, and trying to have a conversation would be just like us trying to converse with the bacteria, well, we may have interests that don't quite align, which probably isn't going to be great for us, aka the new bacteria. Even if the goal of human-machine integration is difficult to achieve, and it will be, brain-machine interface technology could be of great value in the field of medical rehabilitation. So again, even if Neuralink ultimately doesn't achieve the final goal, allowing humans to merge with artificial intelligence, at least on the path, Neuralink is going to help many people improve their life and reduce suffering. Noble goal. Space exploration. The possibility of cross-planet habitats. Finally, my greatest hope is that humans create a self-sustaining city on Mars. Many people ask me why I want to explore outer space and turn humans into multiplanetary creatures. By the way, I just want to interject here. I reckon literally 100% of the people that are why would you even do this, Elon? They have no idea, and I mean literally no idea about the geological history of Earth. They don't understand where the universe came from, what the Earth is. They don't have a concept of supervolcanoes, the impact on the atmosphere, and therefore the climate. They don't realize that when you look at the moon and see all those craters, that's because shit hits the moon pretty regularly over a long time scale, and the same shit happens to Earth. Big thing hits Earth, next minute all life on Earth extinct. They are unaware of the major extinction events throughout our history, give or take about half a dozen of them. In some cases, 80+% of all life on Earth being wiped out by a single event. They're not quite aware of some of the potential in terms of viruses, artificial intelligence, weapons. I guess what I'm trying to say is most people who are unsure why Elon would want to have a self-sustaining city on Mars are people that just don't understand the concept of and or the need for a backup. In the vast universe, human civilization is like a faint little candle, like a little shimmering light in the void. When the sun expands one day, again, something that most people don't even know will happen. Actually, speaking of the Full Send podcast earlier, it was actually pretty funny to see some of the boys on that podcast have absolutely no understanding about this stuff. Elon was talking about the sun expanding. I think like, what? How? I don't, what? Then again, I kind of got a funny feeling that most of what they believe about reality comes from the Bible. When the sun expands one day and the Earth is no longer habitable, we can fly to a new home in a spaceship. If humans can inhabit other planets, it means that they have passed one of the conditions of the great screening of the universe. Then we will become interplanetary citizens and human civilization will be able to continue. The first step toward interplanetary habitat is to reduce the cost of travel, which is what SpaceX was founded to do. First, by building recoverable, I'm sure that the term was actually reusable in the translation here, rockets, and then building reusable megaships with ever-increasing carrying capacity. As of earlier this year, SpaceX had successfully reused 79 rockets to deliver cargo to the space station and send ordinary people into space. We have also designed and built the largest launch vehicle in history, the Starship, which can carry 100 passengers and supplies at a time. In the future, we plan to build at least 1,000 Starships to send groups of pioneers to Mars to build a self-sustaining city. As technology continues to change lives at an accelerating pace and the world evolves, life is more than simply solving one problem after another. We all want to wake up in the morning full of anticipation for the future and rejoice in what is to come. I hope more people will join us in our fight to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. I also welcome more like-minded Chinese partners to join us in exploring clean energy, artificial intelligence, human-machine collaboration, and space exploration to create a future worth waiting for. Fascinating essay from Elon. I think a lot of people will have missed this one. I thought it was really important to share. I mean, Tesla Bot, people just really not getting this. Elon's literally talking about creating something with artificial intelligence that gets smarter, more capable over time, and producing millions of these to the point where in the future the cost will have fallen so much you can literally buy one for your parents as a gift. But unfortunately, that doesn't fit anywhere on a Wall Street stock analyst spreadsheet when it comes to Tesla stock and their price targets. Therefore, it doesn't exist. It's also quite evident that Elon is really appealing to Chinese people, many of whom he hopes in the future he will be able to hire to work on some of these projects. But remember, according to the bottom 5% of humanity, maybe more, maybe less, Elon Musk is just a greedy billionaire just trying to make money, and if he has money, it's because he took it from me. And we should also tax the rich more, especially Elon, because he's the richest. Because Tesla has no intrinsic value and isn't actually doing anything good at all. Tesla certainly isn't a form of philanthropy. Nor is Neuralink, nor is SpaceX. Elon's just a really bad person, he's also a fraud, and you should hate him because we told you to. Hope you guys and girls enjoyed this fascinating essay from Elon Musk. I tell you what, in 20, 30 years time, it is going to be fascinating to come back and read through what Elon was discussing in terms of Tesla, the humanoid robot, battery storage, solar, artificial intelligence, Neuralink, and colonizing Mars. And lastly, don't forget you can support the channel by joining Patreon with the card in the corner or the link at the pinned comment. You'll instantly gain access to my up-to-date Tesla stock price targets out over the next decade, plus loads of exclusive content. At this stage, it's got to be 140, 150 exclusive videos, some of them Q&A, some of them specifically made just for Patreon, all kinds of different topics, some personal, some controversial, some both. So if you're curious, click the link in the pinned comment or the card in the corner to join Patreon, and I'll see you over there. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan, this is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks, and get some free stocks and crypto. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. And if you're still watching, you're awesome. I read every single comment on this channel and I really appreciate your feedback. So if you've got any thoughts on today's video, questions, comments, or suggestions for a new video, let me know in the comments below. Check the cards on screen now to browse the merch store, join Patreon, or watch the next video.